I loved the slow clap before. So bring it back. Dan and Dave.
Hey everyone! We're Dan and Kate's Book Club. This is my friend Dan.
This is my friend Kate.
And we've read every book that has ever been written.
That's right. Every single one. We like reading.
We do.
We like improv.
We do.
And we like each other.
All the
That's
time.
why you would have expected Kate to defend me when a bunch of teenagers were making fun of me on the bus.
Anyways, what's a book you're reading right now, or what's one of your favorites?
The highly sensitive person.
The highly sensitive person. And I'm sorry, could you remind us who wrote that one again?
Dr. Elaine Aron.
Dr. Elaine Aron, which many people confuse for Elaine from Seinfeld.
Right.
It's a common mistake.
Because there are only so many people named Elaine.
Exactly.
But only those two.
Elaine from Seinfeld
and Elaine Aron. Dr. Elaine Aron,
Yes.
who is a doctor of philosophy.
She says things like, life is like a boat. Get on it or drown.
Life is like a cliff. Don't run off, or do. I don't care. We know each other. You could fall off a cliff for all
She's
I
a
care.
very bad therapist. Don't go to her if you're depressed.
Right, or like, you're overly sensitive.
Yes.
You think that with a name like this,
The highly sensitive
she
person.
basically spends most of the book mocking highly sensitive people.
This is almost a parody of a book.
Right. It starts out with the exposition.
Which, for those who don't know literary terms, exposition means this is what's going to happen.
Right. The inciting incident.
Which is a punch in your gut saying, oh, you've got diarrhea.
And then
Literary.
got literary diarrhea. Some complications, some
Rising
rising
action.
action.
Listen, you're climbing up the hill and you're running a 5K and you're like,
While you have diarrhea. It's awful.
so points are dropping from your literary bowels.
Wow.
This
This
guy.
took a turn.
Yes.
This metaphor went south. Unlike the climax, which happens at the highest point.
It's like the flush of the book.
Oh my God.
We're talking about the movie already.
You have the denouement.
Which is still the after literary sex cigarette. So we go from diarrhea to sex. It's very
Which most people do.
yeah.
And then you have the resolution. I always get those two confused.
Yeah, well, the resolution is like the bow on the package.
Right. It's like the mint on the pillow.
It's like the part in Home Alone where he's like, you filthy animal, and then he shoots them all.
Well, it's
Because it could be a bow or blood.
or a trick to deliver a pizza.
Yes.
Yes.
You never know with books unless you read them. Which
Right.
we have.
Of course, and we've read The Highly Sensitive Person by Dr. Elaine Aron.
So, and the highly sensitive person in this book is Miss Elizabeth Bennet.
Elizabeth Bennet, so highly sensitive, always feeling put upon and insulted.
She always says things like, I won't marry that man for money, but I might marry him for love.
Or, that man thinks that I'm going to be subservient to him. Ha! I'm too sensitive for that.
Because I'm an evil chemist.
And I don't like his bow tie. I think it makes him look like a stodgy old man. And I'm going to point it out in public.
Like some teenagers might on the bus.
Yeah, I did. And there I was.
Anyways. So if Elizabeth Bennet is our protagonist, then our antagonist in this book would definitely have to be.
It would have to be Renfield.
Yes.
R.M. Renfield.
Mr. R.M.
Renfield.
Who says things like,
Hey, pass me those hors d'oeuvres made of flies and spiders.
I will eat your bones, but they will be of your children.
Elizabeth Barrett, did you know that the blood is the life? me, R.M. Redfield.
So, we're not doing a great job explaining this. R.M. Renfield wants to eat Elizabeth Bennet. If you've read Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters or Pride and Prejudice and Zombies,
Or Emma and the Sasquatch.
you know where this book is going. Someone will get eaten by another human being.
Yes.
So R.M. Renfield, he's hungry. He's looking for something other than love. He's looking for flesh and bone marrow.
And also love.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of things, but also love.
Yeah.
As are we all.
Yes.
We're all just looking for acceptance and support.
From teenagers. Anyway, so we have Elizabeth Bennet's best friend.
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim, who's got a little leg,
And
a lot of heart.
a lot of heart.
Little leg and a lot of heart. When you lose part of your limb, your heart grows 3 sizes.
Yes.
He did tell us that. Tiny Tim, he's a poor person.
Right.
But he's not one of those poor people who comes up to you and says really creepy things. He's one of those poor people who you walk by and you're like, well, you might have a family.
Yeah, you obviously have something wrong with you. You're not just lazy.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
We don't have anything against poor people. It's this book. It's not us.
It's Dr. Elaine Aaron that's really, really poor people.
She is. She talks a lot in this book about how poor people are the bane of society.
Right. Basically, one of the big themes in this book is man versus society.
Yes. Because if some 12-year-old can get a job at McDonald's, why can't someone without an address? I didn't say it, she did. It's a direct quote from her.
Right. Ebenezer Scrooge actually was the one who said it.
He's in the book.
Yeah. Mostly making fun of poor people. No coming to God for Ebenezer Scrooge.
No, but he's like an ex machina for Elizabeth Bennet.
You keep bringing up that term, and I'm pretty sure you don't know what it means.
Ex machina means someone who moves the plot along without actually needing to.
Okay. Alright, so we have Ebenezer Scrooge, we have Elizabeth Bennet. Hey, it's Tiny Tim.
Tim,
How does he feel about Renfield? We'll find out.
I feel like we're doing a great job explaining this book.
Perfect.
We're doing it just straight on the line here.
You know what I think would be even better?
If we show them.
If we show them.
We just bare bones of this.
Okay, so we start out with the exposition of the conservatory.
Where Elizabeth Bennet?
Is hanging out with her best friend and confidant.
Tiny Tim. Well, I'll play Elizabeth because I'm full of poison.
Okay. And I'll be Tiny Tim, wandering in as you browse the many flowers.
Petunias! Petunias smell so good to my delicate English nose.
Mom, I want you some cucumber sandwiches.
Tiny Tim, my best friend and servant. Because as a woman of society, I need someone to serve me.
Mum, you've always been so kind to me, and I know that when you're done with those cucumber sandwiches, which I've made delicately, even though I only have the 6 fingers, even though I'm missing quite a few.
And you do such a terrible job of bathing them. You're actually really bad at your job of my best friend. You look terrible.
I was going to ask you if I could have the crumbs, but I suppose I'll just go lay in me bucket.
Well, why don't you work for your crumbs, Tiny Tim? I'm a woman of average household, and my father won't give me any money until I get married, but at least I'm a woman.
It's because, Mum, I only got so many fingers, and my legs falling off, and my ears not doing too good.
That's no excuse. You could still be a pig.
Be a pig.
Pigs are good society.
Suppose I could go work down at the slaughterhouse for a few days anyway, until they slaughter me and put me into a sausage. I'll just go hop over them.
Tiny Tim, you won't find any sadness in me, just because I'm your best friend.
Just
because you're my best friend, I just thought you might have my back in my times of need when I'm not feeling very confident about myself. Thought I could depend on my good friend Elizabeth Bennet.
When people make fun of you, they're pretty much making fun of me, and I won't support anyone making fun of me.
And you won't have
I
that.
won't stop any children on a bus, not a bus, because we don't have buses in this time period. Maybe a wagon? Teenagers on a wagon, I won't stop them from making fun of you.
I certainly wish you would. I am just a pathetic, scared little thing.
Maybe you should be a man. Maybe you've got 6 fingers, but you've probably got something down there that's one whole thing. That's very inappropriate for me as a woman in this society to talk about. This tea might have rum in it, that's why.
And for a good 45 pages, Dr. Aaron just describes how Tiny Tim stares at Elizabeth Bennet because he's so uncomfortable about how she basically pointed out that he has a penis.
And it's really weird for the time period because women didn't even know that men had penises in that time period until they were married.
So she just was trying to ice over it, but it just wasn't happening.
No, it
was just sort of-
wasn't.
I think I'm gonna go.
You and your penis go. And that's how chapter 1 ends.
That's how it ends.
Very abruptly, very dirty.
Yes.
When you read chapter 1, you feel like, I should take a bath right now. And not a sexy bubble bath. A bath that scrubs your skin off.
Like a scouring soap pad type
You're
of thing.
punished and you're wishing you never read those sentences.
And sometimes when, I'm feeling pretty bad about myself, I like to go into the shower and just scrub off all the filth from the day.
Maybe if you weren't so sensitive, you wouldn't have to do that. Teenagers don't necessarily have any opinion in society.
Maybe I need to read
Dan.
this book.
Okay, let's do a different scene. Let's do a different scene.
All right, so R.M. Renfield calls on Elizabeth Bennet while she's in the library.
Yes. She's reading poetry, and he comes in, he starts talking about bones.
Right.
I'll keep playing Elizabeth.
Okay.
It works. Oh,
Oh. Luckily, we've got several more up here.
I fixed it.
Oh.
And Jesus wept.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Is that a book about arachnids?
you're bleeding from your eyeballs.
Oh, am I?
Yes.
Pardon me.
Have you, sir,
Oh,
do you need help?
actually, would you do me a solid and undo the straitjacket?
Oh, it seems like you're going to be a bad decision in the future.
Oh, I promise.
I'll let you go.
I'm as harmless as the kitten that I want to own.
I always trust men that I don't know. It's what women do.
My name's Roberto Marino Renfield. You can just call me Renfield if you want.
Renfield, I love calling men by their last names, as Jane Austen always tells me to. She's the person who birthed me.
Oh,
Brought me up. Told me what to say.
Gotta be honest. I've been watching you for quite some time.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I know. I can't help it, you see. I got something wrong in my head. It's like I see somebody from across the very pastures, and I just see their throbbing jugulars.
Oh,
And their
my jugular, sir! Don't you look at them! They're meant for my intended! And he doesn't even know what they are.
Who might that be?
He hasn't been written into my existence yet. My father hasn't given him my goats.
I might have a go. I'm eligible. I own a great many slaughterhouses.
Would you want my goats to slaughter?
I'd be amenable to that.
You look like a man who might be too smart for me because you have a bow tie and you look kind of nerdy. You look kind of weird, like people might yell at you from a distance on a moving vehicle. They might say things like, "Hey nerd, bet you read the latest comic book." That's not girdled enough? Am I not out of breath enough for you?
No, you're just a cruel woman with a big ass.
My name's not Beyonce.
I would never say that about Miss Knowles.
Her last name is Z now.
It's the 18th century, so of course, appropriate for this time. But anyway, you could have had it all, baby. You could have had a nice goat abattoir. You could have had this. And I'm into some freaky, fun stuff.
That's weird, and you're nerdy, and I would have never washed your loins.
Would you stop bringing up your nerdy? Why is that?
It was funny, Dan. We were walking down the street, and some 16-year-olds on a school bus got you down on your knees, and they were like, "Oh, look at that nerd." It was so funny. I couldn't help it. I had one too many shots.
If those kids were 16, they have been taking human growth hormones because they were humongous. They had beards. They had lush, thick, like barbarian beards.
Dan, some kids, unlike other people on the stage, work out
Oh.
in gyms. Too soon? Let's do a different scene. I feel like let's do a different scene.
Why don't we just do whatever you want?
How about, okay, so Ebenezer Scrooge, he's really trying to work on Tiny Tim.
Oh, is he?
Yes, because he wants to kill, metaphorically, he wants to kill Elizabeth Bennet. How about you play Scrooge?
You want me? Oh,
Well,
you want me to do you a favor and
Well-
play Scrooge?
Well, you seem a little grumpy right now on stage,
Fair enough.
so it would work towards you. I'll play Tiny Tim this time.
All right.
I can play a guy. I can do it. I can play a disabled person. Hello, mister. My best friend needs some tea. And I heard you're the best tea man in the business.
You one bully, why I should part with a single tuppence for a squat, slovenly little tatterdemalion such as yourself.
Me best friend, Elizabeth Bennet.
Are you a pirate?
I can't. The accent's a bit hard. She writes it like Cockney, but
Well, if you were a good improviser, you could do it. Anyway.
me best friend Elizabeth. No, I'm still going pirate, Dan. I'm gonna do that. Me best friend Elizabeth Bennet. She be saying that she needs some tea. She be saying it, and she be killing me if I don't bring a tea. She be singing with shit, sir. She be taking me gold, sir. See, a good improviser commits, Dan. Oh, sir.
Yeah.
She be taking me glass eye. Sir.
Lorenzo, you're a little distracted by the cowboy that seems to have wandered in with the old glasses.
I ain't got no spurs, sir. I'm trying to go with pirate. It keeps going Cool Hand Luke.
Well, she's an eligible bachelorette.
Do you want to marry me, friend? I'm going to make it now. Me friend Elizabeth Bennet. She's a woman with jugular.
Have your qualms against it, I suppose.
Here's the thing, me sir.
You're a very unpleasant boy.
I have no limbs. I have a few of them, but not a lot.
You've left a trail of limbs all throughout my shop.
Children, when they walk by me, always make fun of me.
I just need to tie these to your back.
If you've got a string on your finger,
Yeah, let me just pump this.
I need an arm again. Oh, I'm like a Frankenstein, and you be Dr. Frankenstein. Aren't they the same? Different book. Get jumbled sometimes.
Not at all. Let me just...
Dan!
Let me just have this...
Dan, you were wearing...
I was wearing this.
I know, and it's funny. Look at how you dress. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Dan,
I look collegiate.
do you want to do the... Let's... Okay, guys. Dan might start crying.
I'm not!
Let's do the climax. When... Okay, so... Dan... Oh my God, guys. This is awkward. Dan, can you...
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
Dan, let's do the climax, okay? And no one will make fun of you for that.
Let's do the climax.
Okay, so Ebenezer's Scrooge and Tiny Tim are clearly in cahoots.
Right.
And they're gonna do something bad to Elizabeth Bennet. How about you play the bad? Because I feel like I've been the bad guy most of the night.
It seems like they're all pretty bad.
You can play both. I bet you can play both of them. Dan, I think you're good. Okay, I'll be Elizabeth Bennet again. Just an old, plain old woman on stage.
All right.
Yes. Oh, Tiny Tim, where are my things?
What's right? He's a nice guy over there.
Wearing my finest clothes.
My jugulars are pulsing. I've never seen a man so twisty, so topsy-turvy, so dream-ridden. You have a chest of a man who's been punched before. That's what I like as a woman.
I have surplus calcium
Oh.
on my stage.
Milk is hard to come by in this time of year.
But I have several cows. I can tell you have goats.
I have many goats.
Next,
Join forces.
Will you take me as your wife?
I'll take you to the next.
Oh! Oh. That sound is suggestive enough for me to ungirdle my girdle.
That's one of my things in it, you know.
Timmy! That's just gross! You were saying!
Talking about it before.
Well,
That was you.
limb isn't technically a limb. It's an appendage. That's a different word.
Science curve!
Oh,
My face! Are you?
oh my God, Dan. Dan, I just got it. When you, as Ebenezer Scrooge, kicked Tiny Tim, the small disabled person, I saw what you felt. When those 16-year-olds told you you were a nerd.
Somebody that I looked up to
God.
saw me in my awful state
Yeah.
and made me feel even worse.
Well, you looked small, and I thought it was funny. But now, seeing it as this terrible scenario,
All of a sudden,
I kind of feel bad.
yeah.
Is this what Jim felt like? Is that why he left the book club?
Well, always make fun of his fucked up teeth.
He had fucked up teeth.
Yeah, there's no reason.
They were all backwards.
It's gross.
Who wouldn't laugh at that?
The important thing is, don't bring it up in front of his parents.
Oh my God, I'm the worst.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh my God.
But, you know, I understand that perhaps I'm not the most conventional of
You're kind of a nerd. I didn't say it, the 16-year-olds did.
Yeah, you keep saying it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean,
it's like I have Tourette's or something. You shouldn't make fun of that, guys.
you may be, it's important to me that you have it back.
I will have your your regular back. I'll have your regular fucking back there.
Okay?
And I will be the best fucking team player. And I will never make fun of your weird goatee again. I tried. One more.
You know what? I know that you're fucking lying, so can we just make an agreement that we go hunt down those kids? And
We can
beat the shit
kill
out of them?
some teenagers.
Oh, I wasn't gonna go that far.
Well, I've got a knife in my book bag.
Alright.
Let's do the end of the. Okay.
Right? Somebody kicked a chameleon.
Oh, God!
I'm gonna destroy all of you.
R.M. Renfield!
I have lunatic strength.
I didn't think you could back in this book!
Oh no! My arms! My very limbs have been torn off!
Now you're disabled!
Now you're disabled.
Yeah, now you're disabled.
I'm just a woman, so technically in this time period, I'm already disabled.
You know your problem? All of our problem is we're just too highly sensitive.
I realize that now.
Tim! And that's the end of the book! That is the end of High Sensitive Person! By Dr. Elaine Arendt.
I learned a very important lesson.
She put many offensive things in her book, like those engines. We didn't do that part, because
Yeah.
it was too offensive.
The really, really offensive racial slurs that she was just peppering throughout the book.
She put it, not my words, hers.
So Dr. Elizabeth Aaron, Elaine, sorry. I was thinking somebody else.
Mother.
Right. Anyway, they learned the lesson that, you know, you really just need to buck up sometimes and take what life gives you.
You need to put your jock strap on and take that spiked kick in the
But
nuts.
that doesn't mean that having friends isn't important.
Yeah, having friends to help you take that kick in the nuts.
And it cradle you.
When you're crying like a grown man who's been left alone in a bar, way after call. Dan's never done that.
That's not me. I'm always in bed by tight 11 o'clock. Anyway, I love this book. I give it 8 out of 10 goat abattoirs.
I would give this 6 out of 8.